That was a very impassioned plea that was just heard. I too have such incredible appreciation and great esteem for Chicago's finest, those who are truly Chicago's finest. I would be in complete agreement that our safety and security is much protected because of such individuals. But I dare say that that is not a description worthy of Officer Waldman. To be of Chicago's finest, I think it's something that we would expect proper procedures to be followed. Not simply a mistake, but many, many procedures that had not been followed. That this evening was something where they went out of their way to antagonize Robert Ramirez, not Robert Ramirez to antagonize Officer Waldman Levy. I would ask you to recall a number of the procedures that were not done properly. Key evidence, the evidence of the jacket, the shirt of Officer Levy, vanished. A knife without fingerprints or blood, conveniently found at the crime scene. The blade closed. No explanation other than it was the right hand of Robert Ramirez that was said to be stabbing. Yet you have heard the testimony that Robert is left-handed. Robert had an injury to his right clavicle that makes any motion with that arm extra difficult anyway. This is the making of a cover-up. This is not Chicago's finest doing what they do so well to protect us. This is a cover-up to cover up incompetence, to cover up negligence, to cover up a grievous mistake that Officer Waldman well made that night that did bring young Robert Ramirez to the point of death. The wanton negligence of not even attending to Robert's injuries as he lay there bleeding profusely, that is by the testimony of Sergeant Sloan, very likely one of Chicago's finest. Chicago's Sloan testified to the fact that Robert Ramirez was unattended and bleeding out, and yet neither Officers Levy or Waldman were attending to him. That is not what the city of Chicago expects of its peace officers to keep us safe. It's also very interesting that, again, Sergeant Sloan noted that the cars parked at this crime scene were exactly in the way that Robert Ramirez described them, not the way that Officers Levy and Waldman described it. That was never explained. Robert Ramirez was grievously injured. Robert Ramirez suffered grievously at the hand of Officer Waldman. This needs to be made right. There may not be a financial award sufficient to have this be the same as going away. But we, as citizens of Chicago, need to address this injustice so that our truly finest, the finest that we have in Chicago, can wear their badges proudly. And we, as citizens, do not need to fear the betrayal resulting in a cover-up of our officers performing their duties against us. Thank you.